InisHydro is a 3-year seabed mapping project funded by the European Union, and we're responsible for mapping key areas around the Scottish, Irish and Northern Irish coastlines to support navigation safety and the updating of nautical charts and environmental habitat mapping within those regions.
The primary benefit of this data set will be the updating of nautical charts, and this will help fulfil national requirements for safety of life at sea. The data will also be used by coastal zone managers for renewable development, aquaculture, aggregates and leisure industry as well.
Well, the science of hydrography has actually been around for 500 to 600 years, and certainly going back to the old days, they used to undertake measurements from the side of a ship using a lead line, physically a block of lead on a graduated rope.
And oftentimes they would have a daub of wax on the plumb which would capture the sediment from the seabed, so they would be able to add that information onto the charts as well.
Fast forward 500 to 600 years and we're now undertaking very detailed acoustic measurements by sensors that are fitted to the hulls of survey ships.
Our primary tool is a multi-beam echo sounder. The multi-beam echo sounder has the capacity to emit and receive pings of sound at the same time. And the sound is emitted in an arc or a swathe beneath the ship, and the echoes listened for. When these data come back, they're processed on board the ship using information that we know about the speed of sound in water, and from this the time it has taken the echo to return is worked out, and therefore we can work out the depth at that location. And the location is very accurate because we use GPS to position. We can also use the character of the echo to assess the character of the seabed. So a strong echo will often indicate harder seabed, and we can use this information in conjunction with ground truthing to work out what the nature of the seabed is in that area.
Shelly sand, you can see the shells in there? Yeah.
Here we have a paper chart. So this is how the original surveys would have been conducted, and one of the sort of products from the original surveys. So this paper chart ultimately will be replaced with digital products, 3-dimensional fly-throughs, digital imagery to enable safety at sea and better navigation.
I work for the Geological Survey of Ireland in Dublin, and together with the Marine Institute in Galway we work on a programme called Infomar, which is mapping the seabed around Ireland. In 2011 we also became involved with the InisHydro project. We were given the task then to survey Dundalk Bay, which is on the border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, where AFB was working, and they've brought their data down to meet up with where we finished up our data. So it's a nice blend of two different countries working together and integrating their data.
One of the areas we've been working on is Carlingford Loch, which lies in the boundary of the north and south of Ireland. For us it's really important because it supports up to 5,000 tonnes of shellfish production and these beds per annum. It's also important because it has a number of international and national designations for conservation. The INIS project is providing us with an important base layer to allow us to spatially manage the allocation of these resources between the variety of users.
I'm a hydrographic surveyor at SAMS. We're sat here in Open Bay on the Northern Lighthouse vessel Polestar, getting ready to go out and complete multi-beam survey operations. We're going to be using this system to map in and around the Firth of Lorne. There's lots of interesting features around the Firth of Lorne, such as the Corrie of Wrekin, which is the world's third largest whirlpool. It's caused by strong currents racing between Scarborough and Jura. This funneling of the currents creates a constriction, and with the Really interesting seabed topography with large cliffs and steep drop-offs creates this whirlpool effect. So the second stage, after we've acquired all of our multi-beam data, is to process it. This involves removing all the what we call noise from the data set so that we have a final clear image of the seabed. As a good rule of thumb, it's about 1 day of collection to 1 day of processing. So we collected about 95 days worth of data, so we're expecting to be around the same time processing to deliver a very professional finished product.
Dundalk Bay would have been originally surveyed back in the 1800s. It hasn't been surveyed since then, and that's why it's been targeted for attention by the InisHydro project. Dundalk Bay is quite a wide expanse of water, and it drops off to about 30 metres on the outside, but it goes right into 2 metres that we were surveying into on the nearshore side. What we've come up with now is a really good 100% coverage of the seabed in Dundalk. There's quite a significant fault that runs through the bay from east to west, which has been backfilled with sediment. And it's very useful for the port authorities then to understand that channel exists there, and they don't really have to re-dredge a new channel out to sea. They can only maintain the river section of the port. If you look at the old 2D paper chart, that channel didn't show up at all.
But we were very interested in doing this survey. This is, as I said, a large area, 553 square kilometres. Geologically, very, very interesting, very diverse. So we had deep water areas, 260 metres water depth, right into shallow water. I think our smallest depth was 1/2 metre. We surveyed 20 wreck sites, 13 of which we found to be new for this survey. From World War II flying boats to cargo ships that were lost in a violent storm off the Isle of Belnahur in 1937. We've had a tremendous experience with the InisHydro project. We've been drawing on a lot of experience and a lot of skills from Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland and England, led by the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency.
For the first time, not only are we undertaking a seabed mapping project that's focusing on producing maps of the seabed, but a number of organisations are working together across government to map the seabed to a set standard that allows data collection to support all of our uses.
It's the exposure to working in different jurisdictions with different government bodies in different countries. And there's a real sense that this is a tangible benefit of being involved in InisHydro, this international cross-border cooperation. The data will be provided for free on the website, and the real value of this is the fact that what people do with the data when they receive it. There's developments that we haven't even thought of yet that are going to happen with these data sets, and that's down to the data being available for free.
Hopefully this will wrap up the project, and we look forward now to possibly going into an InisHydro 2 project, which will do some more work up in between Scotland and Ireland.